I got into poker through just always gambling with my friends when I was younger, just gambling for baseball cards, playing tape ball, home run derby, basketball, shooting games around the world, pig. And then that just transitioned into, I think it was seeing the World Series of Poker on ESPN, Chris Moneymaker winning, then me and my friends all started having like a weekly home game. To be honest, the initial intrigue of poker was the gambling aspect. But then as I played more and more, I really began to love the game. It is a beautiful game when you think about it, just everything matches up perfectly where there's straights, flushes, what beats what, and everything makes for a really nice game, especially when you play it heads up, which I transitioned into playing. So I started playing a lot when I was 16 to 17, and I was mainly playing heads up sit and goes online. It was on a sports betting website where when I didn't have bets that night and I had money in the account, I'd go over to the poker site and I'd play heads up sit and goes. And then from there, I joined Full Tilt Poker and I met Olivier Busquet, LivB112, and he was one of the best heads up sit and go players on the site. And we got to talking, and then next thing you know, he offers to stake me, and as soon as he offered to stake me, went into work the next day, quit, took a stake, and then he helped me along the way. For me, I'm definitely a field player. I don't use much math, game theory. I'm very intuitive, but that being said, I always want the guys that are very math-based, game theory oriented, I always want to pay attention to what they're doing and try and understand the reasoning behind it. And I'll admit, like, I think what they're doing is more correct, and when I can take it in and try and make sense of some of it, I try to incorporate it into my game as best I can. I have a really good memory with hands, just a huge database in my head of past hands, and just playing so much against good people. You might not be dealing with math per se on a stat sheet or looking at a paper, but in your head you understand the statistics and the probability of what happened in the past, you know? You might not have such a precise probability, but you know, like, less than a quarter of the time this person is showing up with a bluff here, or, you know, you have it in a sense after playing millions of hands. You have a pretty good feel for what the actual statistics are. When I was younger, sure, but yeah, then eventually you just play enough and at high enough stakes to where it deadens you a bit, and the stress is kind of gone. But when those rare moments where you are playing a big game, where it gets to you, it's beautiful, you know? It takes you back to when you started playing, when you first started out, yeah. My favorite place to play poker is probably at the Aria in Vegas. It's just a really nice room, well done. Great food there, good atmosphere. I always lost money in poker up until like 5 years in. I had poor bankroll management, played people better than me, lost a lot. But then eventually I grinded up, and it was 2013 where I was just grinding these small buy-in games, but a huge volume of them, which I was able to create a pretty nice bankroll. So then from there, when I did transition to live tournaments, I never had that life-changing win because I had made enough in my other game. But that being said, so the wins never felt that incredible, but losses still sting just as much as the first one to the last one. There's probably some things I would change looking back at my poker career, but that being said, just thinking of the butterfly effect, I mean, I've God-moded live tournaments, so everything's worked out probably as best as it could, so I guess I'm happy with the way things are.